Derek, how did you come to join Enfield Football Club?
I was playing for Hendon at the time, and Tommy Lawrence came in for Phil Fry, Tony Jennings and myself, and said that he would like us to join him at Enfield, which we did, which caused quite a bit of trouble, I think, with the FA, because of Hendon being so close to Enfield and three players leaving one club and going to another club. They thought there may have been some skullduggery, if you like, for it to happen.
Hendon were a very successful team. When you joined Enfield, how did you compare the two clubs?
At that particular time, they was miles apart. Hendon were really superior to Enfield and most other clubs in the south of England. They had 3 internationals. Those 3 players were the most capped players for English amateur side, and the nukes of the players that were there were very, very good players.
Did you receive much in the way of remuneration for playing as an amateur?
We received, when we first started here, I was earning £10 a week, and then after a period of time that changed, because the so-called amateur side of football was coming to an end, and we was all having to sign a contract, which then the amount of money that we received slightly went up, but it certainly wasn't a fortune. The reason that the 3 of us joined Enfield was solely because Enfield were going to be a good side, and we knew that there was other players coming in later on in the season, which was proven right, because from then on Enfield just marched on and on and on and was a better side for many, many years.
You two played in the Anglo-Italian Cup.
Yes.
For Enfield. What were your experiences of the games out in Italy?
Very physical, very, very physical games, and we wasn't as passionate as we were at playing football at home. This was like a tournament, but our wives, our children were all on holiday for a fortnight, and to some degree the football got in the way of us laying on the beach and enjoying ourselves. But they were very physical games. In the first game that I had, the first game we played, I had to go to hospital. I'd cut my eye with somebody's sharp elbow, and I only had sort of half a game. And then the next game, I think there was 3 games we had. The next game I missed. I stayed out because of my eye, and in the 3rd game, that's when it all went off on the pitch, trying to get out of the ground. The police had to be called, and it was frightening, but it was quite funny when you're sitting there, you're laying laying on the floor of a police car or van just to get out of the stadium. And as you went out of the stadium, they were hollering and shouting and banging on the side of the vans, and it was funny, but it was also frightening. And then we had to go to the police station. I think we stayed there for a couple of hours, and then got the coach. I don't know if the coach was attacked or what, but we managed to get back to our resort and back to enjoying ourselves again.
So the football wasn't a distraction?
No.
In your time at Enfield, the club were very, very successful. Do you feel that other clubs were envious of Enfield's success?
Certainly, yes. Yes, you could. I don't say you could see it on their faces, but any side that come to Enfield knew if they wanted to win, they had to score 2 goals, because we knew we was going to score, and it was 2-3-0, at times quite comfortable games. Then maybe the sides that were in the top half, or really the top 5 or 6, they were really good games. Every side, every part of it was a hard, physical, you'd have to work, but a lot of the time we had superior players and would win them games.
What was it like going out onto the field feeling confident that you're going to win before you even start?
Quite enjoyable, because you're looking, for me personally, I would normally play either left-hand side midfield or up front, depended how things were going. So against any side, if there was a chance of me scoring a goal, I'd have it.
What do you remember about the FA Cup ties against Wimbledon and Northampton? Were you playing in those?
Yes, because we played Northampton, and that's when the next game ended up to be Blythe Spartan.
Yeah.
The one at Blythe Spartan was a good game. They were the northern hard boys, if you like, supposedly, and we were the southern pufters. But the game there was a very good and physical game. Wasn't enjoyable because we lost, but it was a game that could have gone either way. And I won't mention anything about the refereeing, because I thought the referee wasn't up to scratch, but there you are, sir, they do it. And though we lost 1-0, I had 2 clear-cut chances and should have put one or the other one away, but didn't. And that's the rub of the green. Sometimes you'd end up winning 4 or 5-0 and score 2 goals. That one you lose 1-0. And I missed 2 gilt-edged chances.
Back in the 70s, were there many black and Asian players in non-league football?
Not many at all. You'd have the occasional. No, not many at all. I don't think. I suppose the first one I can is to remember was Dennis Gill. But there wasn't for me. There wasn't that many.
If you did have a black or Asian player in the team, did he suffer much abuse from the crowd?
He would take a little bit, but if we went up north, then he would take a little bit more than he would down south. It was sort of tended to be more acceptable down here than it would have been up north.
What would be your typical Saturday match day?
I'd obviously get up, just potter around, make sure I had everything I needed for the game, and because living where I was then, which meant a car journey, and as I mentioned before, Phil Fry, Tony Jennings and I came from the same area, that we would arrange to meet one another at such and such a time and then drive to the ground. But it wasn't anything special that you did.
No sort of pre-match meal or anything, nothing special to eat on the day?
No, it didn't. Fortunately enough, it didn't bother me. I could eat whatever I wanted to eat. It didn't make a lot of difference to me. Somebody else may have had something to eat and would feel bloated. I could eat whatever I like, and I still have that ability to eat what I want to eat, and it's not a problem to me.
Did you socialise much in the bar after the game?
The reason I laugh, I mean, that was part of the football, to socialise in the bar afterwards. I mean, because there you would come and after the game, most of the time you'd win. You'd go into the bar and it would be just loads of fellas enjoying themselves. It's like a night out, but late afternoon.
What was your personal highlight of your time at Enfield?
I think one was winning the London Senior, because I hadn't won that before, and playing against Ilford, against my old manager John Evans. We played against Ilford and we was 3-1 down, and at half time the team was turned round, in respect of that I was put up front, and we ended up winning 4-3, and I scored the 3 goals, which was quite a highlight. Well, wasn't a highlight because it really sounds dreadful. It wasn't a highlight because I'd done it a few times, but because the manager was John Evans, that was a little bit sweet.
Can you sum up your time at Enfield in one sentence?
Absolutely brilliant, superb. The only disappointment was when I was told I was no longer wanted.